Hi Ludabees, so I am back with part 3 of our puppet video. This is actually being recorded on the same day as part 2, and that is why I'm in the same clothes, because I couldn't be bothered to change. So this is what we did in the previous video. We gave him a mouth and a structure to be able to talk. Well, it's actually a she. I'm making a she this time around. So this is how we're looking so far, and the next portion is to cover our head with felt. So I am sticking with blue felt, which is what I got from C&A on their special, and they are just little squares like this. It's really good quality felt. I'm really happy with it, and we are just going to stick it on. So I'm just going to move you all a little bit back so that you can see me, because I don't want to be at a weird angle for this one, because I would like you to see what I'm actually doing, because it is the trickier part of doing the puppet, or trickier for me. Okay, so here we are. You can see me head on in this video. So I am going to measure it out with my first piece of felt going in front. So we do want our front pieces of felt obviously to look really nice. So what I am going to do is make sure that it's covered all the way to the edge. I can see a little piece of white there. So I just want to make sure that I cover that up and then put it like this. So as you can see, the felt doesn't actually stay the way you would like it to. But the magic is that when we put hair on, you won't really see it. So you are going to want to fold it in a way that it does make a little bit of a dome, but it's okay because we will be putting an Alice band on her or something like that, or her eyes might go there, or her nose might go there. So it will be covered. So it does make a little bit of a crease over here, but it is okay. So basically what I did is I lined it up, I folded these two pieces together and folded it to the one side. So I'm just going to warm up my hot glue gun again. It is kind of warm still, but let me just plug it in again. Right, so it is plugged in again, but I am going to start using it slowly but surely. So the first thing I'm going to do is just peel this away over here and go right on the edge. So I am going to go all the way to the end, making sure that I'm putting more than enough glue on, because otherwise it might not stick. So there we go, and then just making sure that it is stuck on properly. So this video might be on the longer side just because it is a little bit difficult to cover all of these pieces, because the felt is so difficult to work with, especially in these circumstances. So just bear with me. I know my videos can get really long sometimes, and I do try and make them short, but it's not always that easy. So we're just going to do the exact same here on this side, making sure to cover everything in the edge, and always just be sure to put enough glue, rather too much than too little. So then just stick that down where you want it as well. So this is where we're at right now. We've just stuck down the bottom, well, not the bottom, the beginning point over here. So then what we are going to want to do is, like I said, you're going to take it back like that and fold it to the side. So then what I would recommend doing is picking up the fold and starting to glue the fold down and gluing the fold to each other, because I will show you now. I can't explain it, but I can show you. So this is where I would start, is just to make sure that these two pieces are stuck together so that they won't be moving anywhere, and then to take this piece on top here and stick that down as well. So sticking it down like that. So it doesn't have to be perfect just yet, because we are going to make sure we have a baby shark. And my advice then is to cut that piece off. So I know we glued it together. It was just to make sure that it didn't make a bulge, and to make sure that it was going to stick down properly. So I'm just going to cut that off, leaving some of it on still, and I'll show you why now. So as you can see, there is then a slit in this. So what you're going to want to do is make sure you pull it tight and just do a tiny piece of glue on this strip over here. I'm not sure if you can see, but I am just going to do a tiny strip over here to make sure that it is covered completely, so that it doesn't have too big of a bulge and that it is sticking together. So just be careful of the hot glue. So while that dries, the next thing you're going to want to do is, as you can see, there's obviously gaps in here now, which is something that you also want to get rid of. So I wouldn't be too concerned about this top piece because we will be putting hair on her. So that is also going to make a really big difference in the appearance of the puppet. So then basically what I'm going to do is, wherever it's lifting off, I'm just going to stick a piece over here. Even if it does ooze out a little bit, it's really not the end of the world. And then just to make sure that all of it is stuck down and it is not going anywhere. Right, so once you have done that, we can get our next piece of felt, and I would recommend never throwing odd pieces like this piece of felt. Even though it's stuck together and you can't really use it, you can always find a way to use it. So I never throw my felt away. I always just keep it in a recycled box of felt with offcuts on it, because you never know when you might need it. So there we go, that is our first piece. So then we're going to grab another square and we are going to overlap it over here, only slightly though, so that you can see, as you can see, you won't really see that once again because of the hair. So we are going to stick that down as far as it can go. So it's going all the way till the end. So I am going to stick it down as far as I can, all the way till the end, as smooth as possible. So, oh, we were running out of glue. So the first thing we are going to do is just along here, do some glue. I definitely need a new glue stick, which is what I'll do now. And then making sure to stick that exactly where you want it, because remember, once it's glued on, it's not coming off. So you just want to merge those two together like that. So that's how it's looking at the moment. I am going to merge these two a little bit better, but I just quickly want to get another glue stick because otherwise we won't be able to finish. Right, so there we go, I have my new glue stick in, and then I am just going to complete it here because I did not complete it because I wasn't actually sure how far back it went. And then sticking it down here like that. So that's how this one is going to stick, and as you can see, it is going to make a bubble again, which is fine because you can just fold that over. And the nice part is, I just burnt myself, the nice part is the back you really aren't going to see. So you can just fold it with a little crease like that, or you can do what we did here. We can just stick those two together, and once that's stuck down, cut it off and then stick the two slits together. So what I am going to do next is I am going to do this piece over here. Reason being, because it is the front piece, you would like it to look the nicest. So I'm just going to go all along the borders, well, all along this border, and then stick that down like that. Right, so what I've done is I have just made the crease over here again like I did before, and I am actually just going to stick this crease down because it does look neat enough, and luckily it is at the back of the head as well. So what I am going to do is just along the barriers again, and then you can see where the crease ends, and then fold it back to how I want it to be stuck down. So right over there, I just gave myself a wonderful burn. So it's not looking as neat as I would like it to look, but it's okay. It will look better once it is finished. So just leave that to dry, and then once again we're just going to go here at this piece over here and then stick that down. So quickly going to go along the sides like that, and then carefully stick it down, not like previous times. Carefully stick that down like that. So that is how the back of our head looks right now. Like I said, it's not the end of the world because, I mean, no one's going to see it. So I do just want to stick this down a little bit better over here, just because it's not looking the greatest. So I'm just going to give it a squeeze like that. It looks a bit better. Alright, so that's where we are right now. Now we are going to put probably one of the last pieces. So I am going to do just a thin strip, which I am going to cut out over here. But I'm first going to do this side because it's just easier to do it like that. So I will be back once I have, sorry, I got some glue on my nail. I will be back once I have put this on. I'm going to follow the exact same procedure as last time. Okay, so this is how she's looking right now, and I know it looks a little bit rough. Even I think it looks a little bit rough, but it's okay. It will get better. I'm sorry, my ice cream is standing over here. So then what you're going to need is a thin piece like this for your chin area. So obviously this is definitely not big enough, but we will then just take a new piece and measure it out to make sure that it is going to fit all across here. So we might need two pieces just to make sure that we cover it up nicely. Now I do just want to cut it a little bit bigger than what it needs to be. So we are just going to cut it in a straight line, even though it is curved. I'd rather just cut it in a straight line just to be sure. And then we are going to stick that on there. So we're going to get our hot glue, start at the corners once again, all the way to the bottom. And remember, all the excess stuff you can either stick down like I have over here, or you can just cut it off because it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to cut that piece off there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is across these lines over here, I am going to put some glue there as well. So my glue is getting cold now because I switched it off. It's getting a little bit difficult to work with, but that's okay. And then we're just going to roll it across nicely till the point where the glue is finished. Once you have done that, you can just do the same over here. So as you can see, it is going to make a little bit of a bulge here, but it's going to make a bulge where we need to cut it off. So that is okay. So then I am just going to go ahead with my scissors and cut it off where we don't need it, where the excess is. And then once we have done that, we will just stick this piece down over here. And then I will use a piece of my scraps, which is why I said don't throw them away, because they will always come in handy just to stick this piece closed over there. So I'm just going to cut a really thin strip like this and make sure that it fits and stick it on like that. So if I look at it, yes, that is exactly the right piece. So again, just going on the sides, making sure it's all covered, and then sticking it down like that and cutting off the excess that you don't need. So there is some excess at the top as well, which I'm just going to cut off. And then there we go. I will just add a little bit more glue over here so that it doesn't lift, because otherwise it won't look so nice. Like that. Okay, and that is how we do the head. So as you can see, it's not perfect right now, and it won't be perfect until we put the hair on and the eyes and all the other decorations. So this is how our head is looking right now, and as you can see, it is fully functional, and I am so excited because this turned out really good. It actually turned out better than my first one. So yeah, that is part 3 of our puppet series, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I would so appreciate it if you would all subscribe, like, and comment down below what you would like to see next and what you are looking forward to seeing in the next video. So I will see you probably at the end of the week or next week. I'm not 100% sure yet, but thank you for watching, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye!